Hi, welcome into the locker room, connected by Iris Networks. Mark Packer along with Austin Price of VolQuest.com, Jason Swain, just about everything else. So you have your chance now. He's in studio. Will you say his name with the vigor that you said in the past when he's not in studio?
Uros?
Yeah, he's in studio. So we're looking forward to that. By the way, Jason, what a game he had against Kentucky. And disappointing that you lost the game, but boy, Uros showed up.
Yeah, 19 points, career high. Every time he turned around, he was doing this, letting everybody know that no one can guard him, and people that were guarding him was too small.
Or was he calling himself for the Heisman Trophy next year?
Maybe, but man, just very efficient. Was again his best game of his career. It was good to see him, play at a high level.
Yeah, 9 of 10 from the floor. You know, I said last week, and this was before Kentucky lost to South Carolina, I thought this was a potential trap game.
Sure.
I mean, everybody's just kind of like, Kentucky's pitiful, poor old Kentucky. Kentucky didn't even play that well.
Yeah.
Tennessee missed some short shots. They had some ill-timed turnovers. Again, learning experience, it doesn't make or break your season. I just think they've got to figure out who they are when they have those nights that happen every now and again where offensively they don't make shots from the outside. And, I loved what Uros brought to them yesterday. They've got to get more out of Julian Phillips. You see him right there, but he's got to be more consistent. Olivier had his worst game in a while yesterday. And that happens. I mean, like you're not going to play, great every game. The guy I think they've got to kind of get going, Jason, is Tyreek Key. You go back to early in the year. He had that huge game when they had that exhibition down there in Texas. Was playing much better early in the year, but as of late, it doesn't feel like he's looking to shoot as much. Doesn't look like he's as assertive as he was maybe early in the season.
He's brought here to shoot, and remember Justin Powell was brought here to shoot the basketball. You
Right.
can shoot. If you don't shoot, you end up on the side with Rick Barnes. So he has to be more confident, let it fly when he's open. He has a pretty stroke, and he's making shots when he actually shoots them. But you can't get out-rebounded by 20. You can't miss 10 layups, and you got to get to the free throw line. And you're just not going to win a lot of games in the SEC playing that way. So that was a good wake-up call. Basketball is super humbling, and I'm sure these guys got themselves humbled, and they can get back to the drawing board and understand that just because a team is not playing well doesn't mean that they're not going to play well against you. Tennessee is one of the best teams in the country, so you can expect people's A game.
Well, it was interesting the number of free throws shot. Kentucky shot a whole lot more than Tennessee did.
Well, they got some favorable calls in the first half. Now, I thought it kind of balanced itself out a little bit in the second, but the first half, I mean, it was pretty lopsided in Kentucky's favor. So, again, learning experience. You got to get back up on the horse. You go to Mississippi State on Tuesday night. You can't let Kentucky beat you twice, and I don't think that this team will because they're so experienced. They've got so many veterans that have played so much basketball, but they still got to find they've got to find somebody that can create in late game situations. I think that's paramount, and they've just got to find what their identity is when they have those off shooting nights. What can you go to? It's kind of like the golfer that when all of a sudden, you don't have it necessarily that day, but you can go to that, 20-yard butter cut and find the fairway when you have to have it.
Well, you're supposed to be able to go inside to Olivier, but Olivier was giving up some offensive rebounds and got himself pulled, and so that's why he wasn't an option during most of the basketball game.
Right.
And so you went with Uros because, he was cooking, and Oscar Tshiebwe just could not guard Uros for most of the afternoon, pretty much all the afternoon. So, you had Jonas out there, and that was a bad matchup for him against Oscar, the size and the strength. But Olivier is supposed to be that guy. When you're not making shots on the outside, should be able to throw the ball inside to him and let him work and cook and make some plays, and he just wasn't out there in the court.
You're going to lose some games every once in a while. You're a week removed from obviously beating South Carolina by 43 points.
Yep.
But the one thing that if this team's going to win a championship, and I think it's good enough to win some championships, conference or even bigger than that, is because defensively, you can always hang your hat on that. You say, what can you hang your hat on if offensively it's not working for you? This team can hang their hat on their defense.
Well, they can, but you still put yourself when the offense isn't, going into games against teams that, I don't want to call Kentucky inferior because they have talent, right? I mean, they have all kinds of blue chip.
Wait, if you do, they're going to be waiting outside the door for you.
But my point though is, like, look at Colorado. Like, you had that awful night, and you bring a team that's far less than you are into play and make it a game, and all of a sudden Colorado beats you when you really, if you played 10 times, you're winning 9 of them, right? So, I mean, like, I think that's why I say you can depend on the defense, but what can you depend on offensively when the outside shot's not falling? What can be that go-to that gets you through a tough night when you don't see it to go through the cylinder?
Well, getting to the basket, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, and making those.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee.
And that's a good point.
Yeah, Tennessee did not do that very well yesterday. And the calls, you can call them lopsided, whatever. I don't think we were aggressive enough getting to the basket outside of throwing it down low to Uros. So again, that was a good learning experience. We've become spoiled though, because when's the last time Tennessee lost a home game? I mean, it was just weird sitting there like, wait, did we just lose?
Yeah, at home. And it's a little bit early, but I'm going to go ahead and bring Uros in just because of the fact that I want to extend our visit with him a little bit here, and then Jason will go over for the Food City player perspective. So
you know who that is? It's Uros.
Okay, so let me ask this question. You and I talked before the show. You have made a noticeable jump in your offensive game. Where did that come from? How did it happen?
Well, honestly, it's just the work that I put in, day in and day out, and my teammates trusting me and, giving me the ball and me getting to the right spots on the court. That was the biggest thing that I talked to Coach about, and, he wanted me to, I guess, use my size and, get to the right spot on the court and put a ball in the rim.
Okay.
Uros, you're such an emotional player, but you've been harnessing that so well the last 3 or 4 weeks. And it's
until this weekend.
No. I mean, no, it was great this weekend. But my point is, you really kind of, I think, become that guy that Rick can depend on in the post to get rebounds, to play those big minutes defensively, and then all of a sudden the offense is coming around. How do you kind of balance the passion versus letting that bubble over sometimes?
It's really hard, honestly. As you already said, I am really emotional, and I'm really passionate about basketball, and just playing the game is everything to me, and I want to have fun out there, but sometimes you just gotta make sure that you don't have too much fun and you don't cross the line that that can cost your team, and you put your team in a bad spot. So that is something that as you talk about balance, something I really need to control, and I think I've done, better job lately with that, but there's still a lot more work to do. Except
for when you walked in studio, Austin was walking by, you elbowed him in the mouth, 3 teeth went to the ground. We had to pick him up, gave him a technical foul, but you're up here ready to roll. Well, let's take a break. Jake, are you okay?
There were no referees to see anything here. So.
Jason's good at the Food City player perspective when we come back on The Locker Room, coming up next.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Iris Networks, Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, and Exterior Home Solutions.
When it comes to the game of football, teamwork is critical for success. When it comes to customer service and business, that team approach is just as critical. That's why we're such believers in our friends at Exterior Home Solutions. We have seen firsthand how Exterior Home Solutions has supported our community and treats their customers just like family. So when it comes to roofing, siding, or maybe a complete overhaul, please make Exterior Home Solutions your first and only call.
Land that corporate dream job. Recalculating. Getting the representation and compensation you deserve? You have arrived. OEB Law is there for all of life's detours.
Reporting from Ted Russell Ford, Nick and Jake with some breaking news. That's right, Nick. The Pre-Owned Patrol's on a new mission, and by new, we mean new Fords. The forecast says we have new Ford F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Mustangs, and more arriving on our lot daily. The best part is every new Ford comes with our non-factory limited lifetime warranty. You heard it here first. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations for the best selection on your new Ford. The new Ford of your dreams awaits you at Ted Russell Ford on Kingston Pike or Parkside Drive.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher. Let's turn to page 32. Or a successful dentist. I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Do you want top-of-the-line fitness equipment for home, school, or work? New or reconditioned, Dynabody in Maryville has everything you need to build that gym. Used equipment brands include Paramount, Life Fitness, Nautilus, Hammer Strength, and Precor. Reach for the power with Dynabody.
Well, this is one of those Food City player perspectives that I'm looking forward to because the timing works out so well. When Jalen Hyatt had the 5 touchdowns against Alabama, it was perfect timing to have him out here. Uros had his coming out party against Kentucky, and here he is tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about, Jason, that this team's got some veteran key pieces on it that won't allow it to kind of let Kentucky beat it twice, and I think Uros is one of them.
No doubt about it. Uros, what's the message from you and the other leaders on the team when you hit some adversity last night, yesterday coming up a little short against Kentucky? What's been the message from you and the rest of the leaders on the basketball team?
As you guys already talked about, basketball is a humbling game, and it's going to humble you every time you think you're up. And I think that's what happened to us last night, and I think lesson is learned. I think we have to move forward, keep that game behind us, and just focus on every single game that is coming up. Mississippi State on Tuesday, big game for us, and just as you mentioned, our leaders, I think we just have to make sure that we do a good job with younger guys, and making sure they don't go hard on themselves just because we lost one game. But obviously Kentucky, huge rival, and everybody wants to win that game. But we're going to see them one more time this year, and we're going to see how that goes.
How do you process personally having your best game, but team-wise not having your best game? You are the ultimate team guy. Big
it feels
time.
awful.
Yeah.
It feels awful, man. I mean, I want to win games, and I'm here to win games, and I know this team is built for it, and I know we can do it. We can do some really big things, and it's just really tough for you to even think about yourself and kind of like put yourself outside the whole team and think about, okay, I had a really good performance tonight, but my team lost. I feel like kind of puts a shadow on your performance, just the loss that we took last night. But it is what it is. I think I'm ready to move forward. It is a little confidence booster for me, and I think my teammates were happy to see me play good. But at the same time, as I already said, we lost the game. So yeah.
Did you feel like you were in the zone? Like the basket was an ocean. You're getting to your spots. The sky hook is unblockable, especially a guy that's 7 foot tall like yourself. But did you feel yourself in the zone yesterday?
Honestly, I just feel like the hard work that I put in and the amount of shots that I take just paid off a little bit last night. And was I in the zone? Yeah, of course you want to be locked in for every single game and think about the game plan and shots that you want to take and who's guarding you, knowing that one of their best players is guarding you. You want to go against him and maybe even try to get some fouls. But yeah, I was just making shots, man. It was just getting to the right spot every single time, and my guards trusted me with giving me the ball and just putting it in the hoop.
College athletics, super intense game. You got to play with passion. You got to play with intensity. You got to be physical, and sometimes it can go overboard at times. Who is that guy on your team? A teammate that kind of sees Uros. All right, the blood's boiling a little bit. Let me get him back. Let me hold him. Make sure he's settled down. Who's that guy on the team that does that for you?
Well, last night was Olivia, but I would say most of the times it's Josiah and Santi. I remember one time, I think it was last year, LSU game at home. I had a decent first half, and we had a lead, and we're in the locker room. But Josiah sees that something is going on, that I'm going crazy, and I'm emotional about the game. I'm adrenaline just kicking in and all this stuff. And he comes to me, he grabs me by jersey. He goes, "You gotta calm down right now, because we need you, and we need you to stop doing whatever you're doing out there right now, like all that talking to other players, referees, and all that." But that's something that I think I did a really good job lately with that. Just controlling myself, controlling those emotions, and putting that energy towards the right things on the court.
What can you expect going on the road, Mississippi State? What can you expect going on the road for the rest of the season in the SEC? Obviously, this league is better now than it seems like ever been. What do you expect as a player going on the road and entering some of these hostile environments?
One thing I expect from my team and me personally to execute whatever's the game plan every single game that we go to, and obviously the environment, we shouldn't let that affect the way that we execute our offense and especially our defense and rebounding. Like, that is something that you know, has nothing to do with environment. Like, you bring your defense with you everywhere you go, and I think we really take pride in that. We are the best defensive team in the country, and I think that is something that is going to help us win a lot of games on the road, especially.
How cool is it for you being a Tennessee athlete? Obviously, you're a basketball player, but baseball is successful. Football just won 11 games. This past baseball season, you know, you had the daddy hat and the mink coat walking around. How cool is it for you to be able to, you know, see your other athletes like yourself having success?
It's awesome, man. I just think, like, when one program does good, I think everybody else is doing good as well. So I'm really proud of. I mean, our football team had a great season. You know, unfortunately, it didn't end the way that we wanted to, but I think we have something really good going on in baseball. I mean, I'm friends with all those guys on, you know, like, on both teams, and I think it's really awesome to see everybody be successful, and, you know, it just there's something really good going on in Rocky Top, that's for sure.
Do you ever, like, sit there and kind of think about your journey? I mean, you talk about someone that was across the country at one point, wasn't getting the playing time that you're getting now, wasn't having the type of success you're having now. Do you get a chance to really sit back and kind of reflect on your journey and your path and, you know, your success right now?
I do that a lot, man, you know, especially as I'm getting older, and, you know, just thinking back is that everything that I have right now seemed so far away, so impossible to reach back then when I was back home. You know, just in a small town, you know, I would say like 15, 20,000 people now, and you can only dream about opportunities that I have right now, and I'm really just blessed. That's the only thing I can think about, and, you know, I did make a lot of sacrifices to be at this spot. You know, as a little kid, you had to leave your family, you had to, you know, go to a whole, you know, other side of the world, and, you know, just figure it out on your own, basically, not knowing English, not knowing what is going on. But I feel like I kind of threw myself in the fire a little bit, and I was like, okay, you're gonna either figure it out or you can always go back home. So I'm really proud of myself for that, you know, with the whole journey, how it's been so far, and you know, it's just a blessing to be here.
Guys, Uros had his career day yesterday. It was really fun to watch, and look forward to kind of seeing him continue on this path of his journey. And he left his family, but Big Orange family certainly appreciates Uros.
No question.
He's got one more year left if he chooses to take it after this year.
Come on back.
If he does, then maybe I'll show up at every one of his grad classes next year and announce his arrival as Uros.
He's one of the reasons why you cheer for Tennessee basketball. Uros, thanks for coming in tonight. By the way, if you would like to support the initiative that is the NIL with Tennessee, partner up with Spire Sports, be a part of the Volunteer Club online at volunteerclub.com. A Tennessee football player into the transfer portal, already announcing where he's going. We'll touch on that when we come back on the locker room, connected by Iris Networks.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Commercial Bank, Humana, E2 Sports, and OEB Law. The Locker Room is brought to you in part by Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, the exclusive orthopedic provider for University of Tennessee athletics for over 70 years.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith, or this John Smith. or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Behind every Food City meat and seafood counter is a highly trained, certified butcher. Our butchers offer special orders, custom cuts, and even entire meal recommendations. In fact, you'll be so impressed with our butchers, you'll be asking yourself, what can't they do?
Huh, I bet he'd be great at wrapping presents.
Okay, well, maybe not that. But at Food City, our butchers make almost everything better.
At D1, our slogan is the place for the athlete. But who is the athlete? While you'll see a number of our athletes on courts and fields, not all of those athletes are starting left tackle in the football game. We pride ourselves with being the place for all athletes, 7 to 70, mom or son, dad or daughter, with locations all over Tennessee. And we have training programs for every athlete. So stop by any of our locations and let's find the best athlete in you.
Well, so this week, Humana on the court is that guy right there. Boy, what a great guy. Incredible basketball player, Chris Lofton, there with Allen Houston, Candace Parker. But, you know, Jason, one of those guys that is a person, even a better person than he was a player.
Yeah, probably the most humble superstar I've ever been around.
Yeah.
You would not know that this guy was one of the best players in SEC basketball history, number retired. You would not know at all. And all he wanted to do is win.
Shoot threes
and
win.
Well, win. That's it.
Yeah.
Someone that battled cancer during his time at Tennessee, but never let it get in the way of his team goals and did not want to be a distraction. But just unbelievable day for him and his family.
Yeah, I mean, just having, I think maybe one of the few people that have been to Maysville, Kentucky, not once but twice, and interviewed his parent to interview him. I did a huge deal going into his senior year. I interviewed high school football coach, high school basketball coach, everybody.
He was a good receiver.
He was an all-state receiver, and had he chose to go out for the football team, between Brett Smith, Robert Meacham, and Jason Swain, one guy would have got pushed out, and it probably wouldn't have been Brett Smith or Robert Meacham. So, Jason Swain owes Chris Lofton for not going out for football.
Was this an 8th grade project at Morristown East High School or what?
No, man. I mean, this was 2008. Went up there for VolQuest, did a huge video piece on him. You can actually get that on YouTube if you just type in Chris Lofton Memories.
Here we go. Okay, so Tennessee football, not a surprise. Taven Jackson goes to the portal, already announces where he's going, and not a surprise where he's going.
In a stunning turn of events, he went where everyone thought he would go.
Indiana.
Which is where his brother plays basketball, right? So, I think it's a bit shocking to no one, but a little bit surprising it happened now instead of after spring. I think a lot of people thought, but I think he decided, I'm never going to play there. They're going to go with Nico over me, and so, I'm going to go ahead and, get my second school started now, and, Indiana was the easy choice. What does Tennessee do? I think they'll absolutely look to try to bring in a quarterback. I think that's a near impossible feat because trying to find a quarterback that's, when Joe is your perceived number one for next year and Nico's your future, how many people want to walk into that? Not many. So I think Gaston Moore ends up becoming your number 3.
Okay.
And I think you try to add as talented of a walk-on as you can. I just think it's going to be really hard to add a scholarship guy. But there will be another wave coming up after spring practice of quarterbacks to go in. But most of those want a real chance to play, not a chance to kind of sit there and, not play. I think Clemson's doing it the right way. Last year they brought in Hunter Johnson, who was previously with Clemson. They went to Northwestern and came back to Clemson. But he wanted to go into coaching, so he was basically a playing GA. And he would have been the next man up had Cade Klubnik got hurt in the Orange Bowl. This coming year, they brought in Paul Tyson, which is Bear Bryant's grandson, who was formerly of Alabama, then Arizona State. Again, wants to be a playing GA.
Okay, Jason, we'll let you talk in the next segment because Austin cooked the entire segment. So we'll get to Jason when we come back on the Locker Room, connected by Iris
Jason
Network.
went long on the last
I
segment.
pointed at him for 3 minutes to let him talk.
What Austin said.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Pilot Company, Ted Russell Ford, Food City, and Lincoln Memorial University.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Costa. Dr. Malone and I here at Knoxville Smiles are here to help you with any of your dental needs, whether it's a routine cleaning, a root canal, or if you just want some advice. Did you know that you don't have to settle for a denture anymore? My team and Dr. Malone are here to help you no matter where you're at and to help you figure out the truth for your dental health. So give us a call or visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Matlock Tire has a reputation for being a little bit old school. We're proud to be known for our outstanding hometown customer service. We've been doing things that way for over 60 years. But Matlock now offers new modern conveniences, such as family-friendly waiting areas, online appointment scheduling. You can even shop for tires and see our current stock right from your computer or smartphone. We invite you to stop into one of our 5 convenient locations or come see us online at matlocktireservice.com. Modern convenience, hometown service. Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair.
Hi, I'm Anderson County head football coach David Gill, and I want to tell you about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions, East Tennessee's first choice in roofing. They've been servicing East Tennessee for over 20 years, achieving a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and are listed as a platinum contractor by Owens Corning. Financing is available. I invite you to learn more about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions on their website, exteriorhomesolutions.com, or give them a call at 865-524-5888.
All right, so Jason, other things that Tennessee is looking for as far as the portal, in and out, all that kind of stuff, a lot of movement.
Corner. I mean, Tennessee addressed defensive end this past week. I think corner needs to be the next priority for sure. Go out and get another pass rusher if you need as well. Won't hurt to get another linebacker. I think receiver is always something you look at. I think running back is super, super important as well. I mean, you have some guys that can make some plays, but this is Tennessee, like that do-it-all back that can take it to the house, catch out of the backfield.
A lot of guys that want to play in this offense right now. There's no question about it. How many spots are there? Because, you know, you used to – okay, here we go. Here we go. How do you know how many spots there are? Because you gave me a look like it's a moving target.
Well, it's absolutely a moving target because guys come and go, and I think there's Tennessee sitting there with about 3 or 4 spots right now, heading into the end of this wave, which will close Wednesday, actually Thursday at midnight or Wednesday night at midnight, Thursday morning, and then of course the next portal window is coming up in April.
How much harder?
I don't think they'll look at a running back. I think that ship sailed once Jalen Wright came back because they're going to have everybody back. And then, I think that Tennessee will add a corner probably sooner rather than later. And, outside of that, we'll see.
Paige, did you say minute 30 or 30? Okay, 1:30. Okay, so let me ask you a question. I had to make sure I knew my time here. The numbers is a key part of all of this.
You just have to stay under 85.
How do you but I'm saying, how do you keep track with all of the changes? You're telling some guy you might want to go play somewhere else, which you didn't used to do, and now you're doing that, which is why you grinned at me. I mean, how do you play that behind closed doors? And I'm being serious, Jason.
Well, you just try to be honest with the kids. You're probably not going to factor here.
I mean, you look at what happened last year and how you lost some games because you didn't have Jimmy Jones. Like, you have to do that if you want to win. You got to get better players and better depth. So either do that or be the nice guy that keeps everybody around and lose games you're not supposed to lose. So you got to do it if you want to win.
Did you just say the portal might be your best option?
Well, you just say I just don't see a path for you here. And most kids aren't going to sit there and just.
I haven't been behind closed doors.
You don't have to go home, but you just got to get out of here. That's what you can
say. So the portal, you wait till after spring. I got about 20 seconds left. Wait till after spring?
For what? For which position?
We're out of time. We'll see you next week on the locker room.
Not for corner.
Corner?
We got to go home.
Corner now.
We need more corners.
We ain't got to go home. We just got to get out of here.
Okay.